Hey everybody, welcome back to What You Watchin', the cult classic / Majestic Jam Network exclusive Patreon series and or subscribe content. Cameron Jones here with my co-host
Jordan Jones.
You know, I really haven't watched that much this week just because I got married last week and I've just been kind of busy with stuff. So, I mean, what have you been watching? Kick it off here.
Again, congratulations, but we're over that. It's a new week. And the honeymoon for me is over. No, congratulations.
And a new podcast. We don't got to keep doing this. This will be the last one.
I got married 6, 7, 8 months. When did I get married?
November.
You know? I'm already over it. I'm on to the next thing. What am I watching? If you're wondering, bunch of weird stuff.
Okay.
Kind of in a courtroom drama 90s scene over here at the Jones Klein residence.
I don't hate that.
I can tell you how it started. A week ago or 2 weeks ago, whenever I saw the sequel to Top Gun.
Sure. So I haven't seen it.
I'm like, I gotta watch Top Gun 1, and it wasn't available. Now it's on everything. They're like, they had to wait a week, I guess. I don't know. So I rewatched that. But I'm like, I kind of feel like some Tommy Cruise,
sure.
you know? So we landed on The Firm, which I'd never seen, like John Grisham's
I've actually never seen that either. It's been one I've been kind of meaning to get to.
It's great. Put me in the mood. Well, great. I don't know. I really enjoyed it, but it's you know, the courtroom drama of the 90s / kind of law adjacent thriller movies, kind of like Runaway Jury, Double Jeopardy, those type of movies. Perfect. Enemy of the State. Get ready for me to talk about that next.
So you don't have to twist my arm, because as you probably know if you've been listening along, I've been very much into just a slower paced or just like a 90s and earlier movie. So like, welcome aboard,
Cameron.
my friend.
These aren't super slow paced.
That's true. I mean, they are action based, but I mean, at least
they're nuanced. But they're pretty much like, if you're asking me, they're interesting James Bournes.
Okay, cool.
There's a lot of chase scenes in all these, or more than you'd think for courtroom dramas. They're not just courtroom dramas. They're more like what's going around the court, you know.
Firm. I will add that. What was it streaming on? Because I imagine you didn't pay for that.
Hulu, probably. Hulu or HBO Max.
Cool. I'm looking for a movie to do after this. So
I hit up The Firm. Just watched Runaway Jury today. I'm kind of thinking Double Jeopardy next.
Ooh, I haven't seen that in a long time, and it is streaming on something. Ashley Judd and Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah. If they're romantic, that's got to be an age difference.
No, they're not. It's more.
They're not. It's more like
a fugitive thing he's looking for. Yeah.
There might be a sneaky way where they kiss right at the end, though. They're like, and there's. I don't know why so many movies do that. I think we might be past that.
It's the 90s. You know, just that we needed that romantic thing at the end. I don't know.
But then it occurred to me. There's definitely a 90s renaissance, and I think it's because of John Grisham novels of courtroom dramas. But the two best ones, probably all time, have to be 12 Angry Men, and that's just a great movie. And then I mean, it feels weird to say this, but To Kill a Mockingbird, maybe it's number one.
Dramas. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's ones.
It's not the sole purpose of the movie, but it's definitely
one we read in school. I would argue. Oh, never mind. The Outsiders is just a mock trial. Never mind.
Nope, that's in the book. That doesn't make the movie.
Never mind. So funny enough that you mentioned it. As far as like old movies that I've never seen before, I literally just got done watching Rambo First Blood like 5 minutes before this phone call. I've never actually seen a Rambo movie from start to finish. I've seen many scenes of different ones, but this was my first time sitting down and watching one start to finish. I liked it quite a bit. It was also
Rambo First Blood is so much different from all the sequels. Those get just a mindless action, but the first one's really good and it's better. It's kind of like Rocky 1 versus the rest.
Which
it's more
which
gritty.
is what I've heard before, and which is kind of what I was like expecting, hoping for. So I kind of had high expectations going in, but it paid off. I mean, spoiler alert, this movie's very old, but like the ending kind of surprised me how it wasn't like, you know, your typical bloodbath you would get for an action movie. And I get that we will get those with different Rambos down the line, but
I mean, there's a lot of gunfire at the end of it.
Oh, there's an absurd amount.
He attacks a whole town, but yeah, it's not as over the top as R2.
But he literally attacks the town. He really doesn't shoot anyone in that moment other than buildings and that cop at the end, but he really has it coming.
You know, Sly Stallone is an all-timer that I don't think gets brought up enough for how much work he's had done to his face.
I think it gets mentioned. I think people noticed.
I don't think it's enough. I don't think it should be like up with Michael Jackson, but man, oh man, has he had just a tremendous amount.
This is a little more I'm Not Crazy podcast, but boy, oh boy, is my TikTok been full of Michael Jackson is alive sightings of him just shopping at like Walmart's kind of things.
Listen, I'm not a conspiracist, but I do think that if he comes back, that won't surprise me. I don't know that he's alive, but he seems wacko enough. Is that what he's? Oh, he's called.
Yeah,
Jacko,
I think
right?
that is like kind of his. Like I don't know if I would say slur, but yeah, I don't think we.
Jacko. I should not be using that.
It was derogatory against him at the time. If you are a fan, then again, I don't know if you're on the stance if he molested children or not.
What I'm asking is they're just calling him crazy.
Wacko Jacko. That was his name. Yes. That was the whole thing. Yeah.
Anyway, if we're over it or not, the guy that the one best actor at the Tonys is just in a Michael Jackson playing Michael Jackson, so it's like,
fine. I do remember that was about to come out right before that documentary. So that came out, did it?
Well, it came out and he won best Tony.
Yeah, good for him.
Best male lead. And then I watched some YouTube. He's just doing a really good Michael Jackson impression.
Well, that'll get it for you. I am excited though. I forget what I just watched Rambo First Blood on, but it does have like all of them on whatever that streamer is. So I feel at this point, now that I started a franchise, just going to go down the line and start watching them. Why not? And I know they get more ridiculous. We were just saying this one is a little more acting and plot centric than the other ones, but I like mindless action movies, so I'm looking forward to it.
I don't know if they're exactly from a plot standpoint the exact same, but I always compare, outside of Rambo First Blood, all the rest of Rambos, I compare that to the Poltergeist series in far as like military garb and jungle look. Now I know one has an alien and one doesn't, but they're pretty similar.
Cool. Sure. I get it.
That might make me think, I'm stupid, but we don't have too many people subscribing to this Patreon, so
Not yet.
Not yet.
Question: did you ever watch Barry past season 1 on HBO?
Nah, and I don't know if I'll get to it just because there's so many things out there, but everybody says it's good. How about you?
Well, I just started season 2 the other day. I just started like 5 shows at once right now, so we'll see who wins out here. But it's still enjoyable. It's still just as good. And because it started with your recap of season 1, I was like, oh yeah, okay. It caught me right back up. So I don't feel like I'm behind or anything, but it's fine. It's just as almost funny and entertaining.
What's nice about that is you think there's probably a million seasons because it's been around for
it's 3.
But they take huge hiatuses.
Yeah,
so
just 3 seasons. It's not that many episodes, so it's doable as far as series go. So I am gonna maybe try to knock that out next week sometime, or at least that season.
You know what show I never brought up to you, but I enjoyed it, and they went on hiatus. So who knows when their 3rd season comes out? But I like the Dave. I like that show. Little Dickie's show.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I did get through season 2. Did it have 3 seasons? I can't remember how much it.
No, they're like shooting season 3. They went on a hiatus because
so maybe
everything goes on and COVID and stuff.
So
maybe I actually did quite enjoy that.
Yeah,
I bet you saw season 1.
I definitely watched all of season 1. I think I started season 2. I just can't remember if I finished it or not. I feel like I might be like 2 episodes shy of the end, so like pretty much.
You know what's weird? I guess it's because he's a white rapper, but his narrative is he went for his dreams and it paid off. But so does everybody that makes it in entertainment,
True. I mean, that's true.
I think they're just saying because he's a white Jewish guy to make it in the rap game was hard.
But like, Beastie Boys, it's not unheard of.
No. In fact, I would say actually I'd say most white rappers are Jewish except for Eminem.
I would second that. But then again,
a lot of
I
them.
Can't name any. Oh, Modest Yahoo. Okay, I guess I'm up to 3, but like that's technically like what 5
Okay,
altogether?
maybe there's just 2, and maybe I shouldn't talk about rappers and white rappers, and I don't really know.
Yeah, well, I'm surprised about how many Jewish rappers I could just name off the cuff though. Castles, Secrets, and Legends. This is a Discovery Channel show, but it's essentially just like it's like a ghost tour essentially on Discovery Channel that takes you to like a castle or some like derelict building, and they tell you the urban legend and the creepy stories behind it. It's actually pretty sweet. I feel like you're just texting and you haven't heard a word I've said.
No, I heard it exactly.
Okay.
My follow-up question was, so this is a series. This is more like a documentary, like reality show?
I'm a little terrified to find out how many seasons there are because it is also just like I'm going through it really quick, but it's been fun. It's just been like a little ghost, very history oriented and fun. Some reenactments, but not overhanded to the point of being like a haunted history cheesy. Well done, well produced.
You do want some reenactments.
Yeah, they do give it to you.
I love those.
It's just the right amount without being like too cheesy. So
sidebar, if we were to pitch something to Christopher Guest, that's what we would pitch.
What some sort of
his crews are in the production of reenactments for TV shows.
Oh, okay.
That seems like a great Christopher Guest, or even maybe Ricky Gervais, or just us if we were more creative.
Ricky Gervais, I mean, it just kind of sounds like extras, kind of. But
okay, it kind of sounds like it, yeah, but I don't think it's exactly.
But Christopher Guest doing it. I mean, you're doing specifically reenactors though, and that's funnier than extras because they are historically bad and over the top.
Yeah, but also like it would have such a rich environment and a crew, and then they'd be set in not Hollywood or Britain or something or London. It'd be like in Idaho. Like, yeah, we do them here. We got a thing.
It's funny that you bring that up. For Your Consideration is on HBO right now, and I just added it to my list, and I just don't know if I'll get around to it. That was that Christopher Guest movie that was like they were going for the Oscar grab, and it was like Home for Thanksgiving.
Honest to God, I don't think I've seen it.
Yeah, we all saw it as a family in the theater. It was just that forgettable.
That's the Home for Purim one? Oh, that's the only part I remember. So that was the fake movie they're making in it, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
So you have seen that.
Yeah, I probably have only seen it once or twice.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why I feel like I should go back because I'm sure it has funny moments. It just isn't as funny as all the other ones, but I'm sure it's a fine movie.
So the other night I tried to watch Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, but I fell asleep to it. I started it too late.
I never saw it at the time, and I've been meaning to get around to it. But here's the problem. If you miss like a long Oscar nom movie, it is hard to get the interest to go back years later sometimes.
That one's probably from like 25 years ago.
I know, but do you know who just got to their No Country for Old Men and There Will Be Blood last year? So there's hope for me.
I mean, there's time. I do have an embarrassing story about that. It was a middle school type, like 5th, 6th grade, guys and girls hanging out. We went to the movie without knowing what the movie was, right? It was Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. And the like dumb like middle school kid I was, once I saw it was in subtitles, I go, nope. And I just walked out and everybody followed me.
Having worked at the theater, they didn't care. They already had your money.
Oh, no, yeah, it didn't affect them. They're like, oh, thank God that group of
high school or middle schoolers is out of here. Oh, yeah, you just saved them a load of trouble. So, yeah, good on you.
Walked out into the winter and took it to bread dough.
Local pizza establishment burnt down twice. Very good dough. Bready pizza.
I'm not sure if it's
they didn't come back after the last fire. 2 fires, and they're like, well, we're cursed. Got to take a hint.
A little more buttery of a crust than you think.
True, but good. Very bready. Though, and I love a bready crust. I tried watching the new Fantastic Beasts because it's streaming now on HBO, but
oh yeah. I paid for 2 movie tickets.
I couldn't get through it.
Theater with
I heard so things about it.
It's boring. Yeah. It's boring. Well, I didn't want it to be.
I was optimistic because I heard people say it was better than the last one. Clearly not as good as the first. I'll say the first one was extremely good. It's not.
I'll stand by that one. That one was delightful. And I think you might have brought this up earlier. We had enough time in between Potter stuff. You're like, ooh, the taste. Just give me a little taste of that Potter world. And it was. But now,
Well, I also like
now we are. I don't know if we're oversaturated with Potter stuff. But
maybe a little bit. It was almost perfect as a one-off. If they wouldn't have tried to connect it to the world, tried to connect it to the story. If they would have it was just Newt Scamander. He wrote Magical Beast. We could have left it there and gone to some other character. You know what I mean? We could have done something non-Harry Potter related. Because the more they try to get back into just
we definitely didn't need like this.
The
story
Dumbledore,
to be 7 parts.
Getting back in.
Now, the Dumbledore shit could have been interesting. It just ends up, they didn't bother to make it interesting. Well, he was more like a cameo in it rather than a character.
Well, and I will say there are no spoilers because I only got halfway through the movie before my wife was falling asleep. And I was like, hey, should we just like throw an audible here and try something else?
Do you want to know the Scott truth? Meg and I saw it in the theater and we both kind of dozed a little bit. I think it's because it was a Sunday, but I think if everybody's falling asleep to it, and we did it in the theater, I've not fallen asleep in many theaters, but
I never have.
It was comfortable, and it was just kind of, I'm like, what happened? Did I just sleep? And Megan's like, not long.
Damn.
But like, she knew.
I've never fallen asleep in a movie theater. I've definitely been around multiple friends and family members who have.
Ooh, the toughest movie I ever had to stay awake for was when we saw Wonder Woman in Israel. I was just so damn tired.
We had a couple beers before that. It was also a late showing.
That's true. Those beers were going down though. I just remember I'm like, oh, this sucks. We gotta go see Wonder Woman. We could get we could have something going here.
And it was actually awesome because, she is Israeli. Everyone was
we saw
stoked.
it in her homeland, the motherland.
And everyone was jazzed for it. It's actually really sweet. So I tried the Fantastic Beasts, couldn't get through it. I will, just because I am a Harry Potter fan, try to finish it at some point. But I'm the first 7 books, man. I don't go beyond that. The Quidditch and the Fantastic Beasts are fun. Cursed Child can suck a D. It sucked. I hated it. So whatever.
Well, to me, and obviously I don't know if it's going to happen anymore because I think J.K. Rowling's kind of canceled, or I don't know. I don't know if her properties are. But I mean, this feels like a little bit George Lucas in it. It's like we little bit of a
Warner Brothers cash grab.
Let's just leave it alone.
Yeah, I get that too.
I get it. Make your money or whatever, but it already happened. It's already great. Let's just have that for always and ever.
What else have you been watching? I'm just going to keep rambling on. Turns out I've watched a lot this week while getting married.
A lot of Vanderpump Rules. Not going to go into it, but that's been on the background a lot. Cool. That is a spin-off show of a Real Housewife who owns a restaurant.
I mean, you don't have to be too ashamed because my wife does like 90 Day Fiance, the main one more so than some of the spin-offs, but I go back and forth between being unbearably uncomfortable by some of the relationships to just completely sucked into like 5 episodes in a row. And they're like 45 minutes each where I'm like, oh my God, I just lost half a Sunday. Or like,
I mean, you get sucked into anything that's like
a train wreck.
The next episode starts immediately. I mean, that's, I'm not embarrassed. It's not what I would pick. Oh, speaking of something that's along that lines, like more of a reality show we share, I saw a commercial for The Challenge. MTV's The Challenge, but it's on CBS.
Oh.
It's going to be a summertime show with not like the MTV people, but I'm sure some of it will be on it. But like there's like Big Brother, Survivor, blah, blah. TJ's still hosting it.
Interesting.
So I'm happy for him because he's probably going to make a shit ton, a
way
lot more
more
money hosting a CBS show. But it was weird. Check that out. I don't have a lot of answers.
I am
just
years
questions.
behind on The Challenge. But I mean, part of the fun of it is that you have like an intimate relationship if you did watch The Real World, which I didn't exactly always. But like there's enough source material that you feel like you know these people.
Well, The Challenge has become its own thing, and now they've integrated new people that aren't just MTV.
Well, they are MTV person. Well, the athletes, but like
no, they've got a lot more. Like they have Big Brother, they have Survivor people, they have like British people, they have foreign people from other countries.
That is true. It has changed a lot, but like I don't know.
But you still have your core. You still have like CT. But
I mean, are they still going to have like alcohol in a giant mansion in a train
anything.
wreck? Because I mean, as long as it's like people getting reckless, it'll be fun to watch. It's just like I'm going to have like 4 series in a row of some new guy like named Todd that I'm going to have to back. Todd gets drunk and rages and, go CT level crazy in competition.
So if I'm to describe it, do you remember when we watched American Ninja Warrior and then it went network? I think this is the network version of.
Okay. I mean, that makes
makes sense.
I
don't know if that's true, but it seems a little more polished and more competition driven
than trashy MTV driven. Okay.
Yeah. Although in recent years, I know you're behind, but you'll catch up. The competition's gotten way more like you have to be
on the
in
challenge.
shape.
Yeah, well, yeah. Now it is like people are doing this year long for the money. They're like, this is my job now.
Like this is their
now
career
they are challengers, or if not, just hoping to get first place in their league, whatever team. Rugby, soccer.
Yeah. So I think that's pretty much all. But I was gonna watch the NBA Finals tonight, but I'm packing for a trip and doing podcasts.
It's a lot of stuff. I mean, the last thing kind of I have here is like I was gonna. Well, I did. Well, okay. I finished the newest season of Stranger Things. I did like it a lot, and I kind of already talked about it, so I won't touch on that. But I wanted to go back and rewatch all of the Stranger Things series because it turns out, without any spoiler alerts, it turns out there are a lot of connections to these final seasons, to things they've been having Easter eggs and hints all along.
Is this the last season?
From what I think, there's like a part 2 coming out in like a week,
right?
And
then the part 2,
and then there's supposed to be
season,
a year, like a time jump to a season 5, and that should be the final season. Well, which I think is what they're doing is like they're all supposed to be 14. They're in their 20s. They're getting through this and that.
Oh, they're like, we're going to keep this cash cow, but we've got to make sure that they're age appropriate.
Yeah, then I think we're going to jump ahead a few years, and then we're going to finish the series on a season 5 with like age correct.
Rank your seasons. Did you go back and do 1 and 2 fully?
We got halfway through 1, which is what I was going to say. Is like I was so pumped for it, and I was going to find all these Easter eggs, and there are a lot of fun things to find. But then TikTok and social media and the internet just filled in the blanks. I was like, oh, I guess I don't really need to look back for these. They just told me everything, so...
That's what's nice about spoiler alert, or actually recapping seasons. because shows go on such long hiatuses. You're like, God, I need to know everything that happened last season. And there's a million YouTube channels that are like,
not even that now, just TikTok.
Like,
It'll just be some guy just like recapping me in like a couple of minutes.
Sorry, I dated myself.
Fine.
TikTok, YouTube, whatever has you.
Well, I mean, TikTok's even sliding right now. My algorithm and my curation is not what it used to be. So get it together, TikTok. Read my mind like you used to.
Be careful what you wish for.
Touche. What were we gonna say? Oh, what's my favorite season out of it though? I don't know. Maybe like 4-3 right now. Like these newer ones I'm really digging. 2 suck kind of. One's obviously like, it started off the series as classic, but
do you know what I sneaky like about 2 though? That whole Steve curly hair kid, little double team. For whatever reason, they were together the whole season, but
that's what got like Steve so likable, is that whole like relationship that season. So yeah, I mean you do need that, but I don't know.
No, yeah, whatever. I'll go back and watch it when I move back to Cedar.
Oh, the newest season.
I just don't have Netflix, so I'll watch it at Mom and Dad's. I'm guessing I'm looking forward to watching the new season of
The Floor is Lava. They have that. I've only seen 1 episode, but it's just as fun.
What We Do in the Shadows. I think that's going to get a lot bigger.
Did you not watch season 3? I thought you did.
I'm not like caught up on it. I never continuously watch it for whatever reason. Up until recently, I didn't go on Hulu. And I don't really... FX isn't in my... Actually, FXX is, because I'll watch cartoons going to bed, but...
Well, I mean, it was good. And I mean, we should be getting a season 4 soon.
I like it. So. I heard it's coming out.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think I should be getting another one soon. So, I mean...
So I'll watch that with Dad and the new kid.
More things to look forward to. Well, for this week, on my review, I'm going to say, if you haven't gotten around to it in the past 20, 30 years, check out Rambo First Blood.
It's surprisingly grounded.
It's not as crazy.
And if you haven't gotten to this in the last 30 years, check out The Firm. It's good.
Yeah, I think I might. Honestly, after this, I'm either going to go on to the next Rambo or I'm going to...
I mean, they are they do run long, but it's fun. And I actually had a thought process. This is what we should be doing. It's occurred to me that through our podcast, we're like, oh, I wish they made movies like this again. And that's what people did with like Stranger Things. We just take whatever we're nostalgic about, fucking try to make it.
That's what everyone's doing. Mm-hmm. That's why we're in the 80s again.
I know, but like I'm not even saying like we don't have to set it in the 80s. I'm just saying I like courtroom dramas. You like courtroom dramas, right?
A courtroom drama. Yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for listening to our Patreon series. If you like this, make sure you subscribe to all the other good podcasts out there. Cult Classics Podcast, Urban Hermit, I'm Not Crazy. And thanks again for subscribing and helping out the network. We'll check you on the next one.